No.
I touched the buttons. You gotta get more. You want to be on camera? You want to be on camera? No? You don't want to step on everybody? I think we'll have more people on. Give it a couple minutes.
What is that
I
sound?
don't know what that sound is.
Oh my God, it's my dog with this chicken. Let me take that now.
Is that you?
Legit, don't ever buy your dog a rubber chicken.
God.
It sounds like a good idea at the time. It's the worst. I
thought it was like interference.
Until you said something. No chicken.
Oh no, I could hear it. I couldn't tell if it was like if it was a dog or a child.
No,
Very.
you can't have it.
Chip doesn't play with his squeaky toy much. Maybe if he had a rubber chicken.
I think I've like legitimately like blocked it out. Like I don't even hear it anymore because it's constant.
Is your puppy chewing everything in sight?
No.
Oh God,
I can't believe it. I'll never forget it. Both my other boxers, I came home one night from like the mall with my mom and I walked in and they ate both of my couches. One of them was on one couch and the other, and it was like literally stuffing and I just fell on the floor and cried. This one, I cried. I had to replace literally like $3,000 worth of furniture. This one, no. But it's early. I don't want to jinx myself, so.
Mine is like, see, like these chairs back here, chewed the bottoms of them, chewed the bottom of the desk, chewed the corner of the wall.
Oh no. I don't know.
He's like confined to this area and in his crate if we're not home, so he doesn't have access to the furniture. But
I know the crate nightmare.
he's a mess.
Really? Now my Nikes. Awesome. No shoes.
Oh yeah, he'd choose shoes if I let him. You want to start, Tanya?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, you want to talk first or want me to screen share now?
No, guess I can talk first. So I don't know how many of you, hold on, let me make this right. Okay. So I don't know how many of you guys know me or follow me or any of that, but I'm one of Kim's diamond coaches as well as Nicole. She kind of reached out to both of us, or reached out actually just to the group in general, and took volunteers to do this call tonight because she was unavailable. So Nick and I stepped up and decided we were going to host this call on overcoming objections. And that was Nick's idea, and it was a great idea. And I didn't realize how many resources there were about this subject. I did a lot of it today at work, and hopefully you guys will find it interesting. Before we even kind of get into that, I just want to kind of go over a couple things before you even like get your mind set on you know, going through this process. I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. If I went on to your social media, would I even know that you were a coach? I know when I go on Nick's, I know if you go on mine, you would completely know that we're coaches. We are like balls out Beachbody coaches. And from start to finish, that's kind of how we roll. If I went on your social media, would I know that you're a consistent coach? Because consistency is like super, super important. And if I had to pick one word as to why I've had the success I've had thus far, I mean, I only joined last July. I've only been a coach for less than a year. It's because I'm consistent. I'm consistent when I don't even want to be. I mean, if you know me personally, I've had more struggles than you would even want to imagine. I've lost like numerous family members. I've buried dogs. I've every excuse to have quit. And it's just simply what I want is bigger than anything life's going to throw at me. So I just get up and I do it like it's my job, because this is a job. And then I would ask you to ask yourself, what kind of coach are you? Are you a hobby coach? Are you just trying to get your Shakeology for free and, you know, keep yourself accountable? And there's nothing wrong with that. Just own that. Are you a part-time coach where you have no ambition of leaving your job? That's totally okay too. You just have to fit this into your lifestyle. And then I would say for, you know, Nicole is one of my biggest idols. You know, she's amazing. I watch her like climb the rungs. I'm like, this girl, man, she just is amazing. And then I would say that you want to be a girl boss, that like you want to leave your job. And that's kind of how I am. Like I want to leave my job completely. I wake up every morning and I think to myself, what is it I have to do today to get closer to that goal? And if you're not looking at it from this approach, then you need to reevaluate and figure out exactly what this opportunity is for you. And then the last thing is, once you determine what that is in your business, you need to align your actions with your goals. Are you doing the things that need to get you there? At first, I was totally like pussyfooting around the whole thing. I'd be like, ooh, I don't know. Can I post that to my regular Facebook page? What are people going to think? What's my family going to think? Do I want to turn my personal Facebook page into Beachbody? But then I realized I kind of have to. Like, I can't just keep sending invites and invites and invites. People need to know that I'm serious about this, and this is like part of my life, and you either are going to accept it or you're not. And that's okay with me. If you want to delete me, delete me. I don't even care. Like, bye. And then I ask you to think to yourself, okay, if you do want to become a girl boss, or you do want this to become a part-time income, are you just constantly making safe bets? Have you ever sat at the casino table all night long and made safe bets and safe bets and safe bets and safe bets? And eventually, you know what happens? You run out of money. It's just a matter of fact. Time's against you. You're eventually going to, you know, drown out your warm market. You're going to eventually have reached out to everybody that you were friends with from high school and this and that. You have to be bold. You have to actually take steps and do things that get you out of your comfort zone. So I ask all of you guys to like look at your Facebook page, look at your goals, look at what it is you want to accomplish, and you know, reach for the stars. So Nick and I are we have a little PowerPoint that we're going to go over about overcoming objection. I have new coaches and they are constantly saying to me, oh my God, everybody tells me it's too expensive, it's too this, it's blah, 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 blah. There is an answer to every objection if you just take the right approach. If you just make this seem like the greatest thing that ever happened to you. And if you're not doing it, you miss the boat. So Nick.
There you go.
Oh, yay. I don't know how this was going to work. She is the Zoom savvy one.
Just tell me when you want me to switch the
Okay. You can switch, obviously. Go for No. That, if you guys haven't read this book, it kind of changed everything for me. I'm so scared of people saying, no, like, this is weird. Why are you messaging me? Or why do you keep inviting me to these events every month? And it's because people need to hear things over and over. It's just like a commercial. Just think of it like a Coca-Cola commercial. How many times do you have to see that commercial to realize the impact of it? Or that maybe that is delicious and maybe that Shakeology is something that's missing out of my life. So go for No. I have the actual link to the book in here. So the first slide is about objections and limiting beliefs. We all had limiting beliefs when we started this journey, right? We read personal development to get past them. You need to remember that the people on the other end of that text message or personal message or invite isn't reading this stuff and hasn't drank the Kool-Aid. So objection is a natural part of this process. Top coaches, I bet you they've heard no more than every single one of us on this call combined. It's just a fact. It's math. It's simple math. They just keep asking and asking and asking and following up and following up and following up until they're blue in the face. And that's what it really comes down to. One of Nicole's coaches, Julie, she's like a freaking rock star. She sends more. I look at, I'm like, you sent how many messages? Oh my God, girl, God bless your heart. Like literally. And it's amazing. And you know what? She's extremely successful because she just goes for no, literally. And there's a fact that the more people you talk to, the more no's you're going to hear. And at first, no is kind of like crushing. You're like, ooh, I don't understand. Why aren't you getting it? Like, I showed you my before and after pictures. Like, what more do you need to hear? But it's simple math. Literally, the more people you expose to this opportunity, the more no's you're going to hear. So, Nick.
Did it change for you?
Yes, it did.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. And I'm just going to remind you guys like what the definition of objection is. Just because somebody objects to your invite or your personal message, it's not a no. It's just that you haven't sold them yet. You've exposed them, and that's all you've done. You've given them a baseline, a little bit of information, and what you need to know is that them even responding is a sign of interest. And maybe you haven't gone over all their needs, all their fears, all their concerns. You haven't provided enough value as to why they need to do this. So stop and think about it. Did the person actually say no to you? Most times, you know what the immediate response I get is, well, what does this cost? We'll get into how you deal with that question, but they didn't say no. They never said to you, Tanya, stop bothering me. I'm never going to buy anything from you. This is weird. Like, you have to get that out of your head that it was a negative objection. It wasn't. You just haven't given them enough information to make them buy into what you're trying to provide to them. You provide a service. We don't actually provide products. BEACHBODY provides products. We provide a service. I provide a community of amazing people that lift each other up and post selfies. My group tonight, literally, I started this thing where this point system, and people that like I thought fell off, like that I'd never hear from again, they're posting selfies in their underwear. I was like, oh my God. And I sent a message to Kim I said, I cried. I literally cried right before this because, you know, it's like a dream come true to me. I am giving these people back what Kim gave back to me. Remember that. Remember where you started. Remember who you were when you first reached out to Kim. Remember that she was consistent, and it was her consistency that attracted you to her. And that's what it's all about. That's what we're doing. We're not selling Beachbody products. We're providing people the opportunity to get their life back. Nick? It didn't change. Oh, yes, it did. Okay.
There's a delay for some reason.
It's all good. So this was just like a little bit, I did a lot of research on this. Actually, I had like the slowest day at work, and it was just too funny that it happened because I didn't even know where we were going to go with this whole thing, but it kind of worked out. And I did a lot of Bonnie Engel's training. I did a lot of Melanie Mitro's training today. I listened to Carl's pyramid scheme. I didn't even want to get into that here. That's like a whole nother conference call. But there's some amazing information out there if you just start Googling, you know, objections. So why do people object to you? First off, are you being clear on what you're offering? Do you come across as somebody that's trying to offer them a shake? Like, I have this shake and it's going to change your life. You have to be clear in your Facebook posts. You have to build a story. And the story hasn't even reached its climax yet. And for me, like, every day I think to myself, my climax is going to be the day that I walk into work and say, peace out. That's like what I'm building. Like, I can't even, I dream about it. I fantasize about it. I think about what I'm going to say. And I make sure that every single day I post something about like that this journey is more than just the fact that I look damn good in a bathing suit, thanks to Kim Lima. That is, there has to be more of a story. It's a craft. You have to really get into like giving little bits and pieces every single time you post, and you have to be intentional about your posting. You know, that was a really hard thing for me, is to figure out a brand, and what do I want to say, and what is it that I offer, and what sets me apart from anybody else. Think about it. You really do need to develop your brand, and what am I offering? What am I offering different than every single person on this conference call? The next bit is they haven't built trust in you. So the trust part comes in consistency. Why would I go and sign up with a coach that only posts 1 time a day, 3 times a week? Why? Why would I do that when there's somebody like Kim that posts 3 to 5 times a day and shows me results? I'm not going to buy something from you when you don't even show up in your own life. That's like super crucial. I can't even stress that enough. Consistency. Figure it out. How many times a day are you going to post? What are you going to post about? I have great tools of planning posts, like post trackers. Just reach out to me in a private message. I'll send you stuff. The next part is they don't see the value in what you're offering. Why is what I'm doing different from your gym membership? Why is the shake I'm drinking different from the protein shake that's $19.99 at GNC? You need to talk about that. These things need to be consistent in your weekly postings. It's just like any commercial that you see. Why is Pepsi better than Coke? Why is this better than that? It's simple advertising. I mean, your Facebook page is your storefront. You need to be consistently advertising how your life has changed from joining Beachbody, and what aspects of Beachbody you're using at that particular time that are putting you on that path. The next part, on average, people need to hear things 7 times before they commit. That's a fact. I mean, that's why people pay big money for advertising slots every 15, 20 minutes. Every time I watch The Bachelorette, I see the same commercials every time. They've targeted a market, and they are exposing that market to the same shit every night. And you know what happens? Somebody went out and bought themselves a Diet Dr. Pepper. It's simple. You know, this isn't rocket science. Kim tells me that all the time because I get in my own head. It's not. They need to see somebody else do it first. You may have done it first. I am serious about promoting like my challengers and their results. So yeah, you did it, Tanya, but you're selling it. Selling it. I hate that, but anyway, you need to start getting results out of your challengers. You need to get them to start drinking the Kool-Aid. You need them to start giving you before and after pictures. You need to get them to start being comfortable in their own skin. You need to get them to a place where they are so proud of where they started to where they are now that they want to shout it from the rooftops, because that's where we all started, right? I mean, you guys have seen my pictures. I was gross. I was totally, like, I was at the lowest point of my life. And now I wish I would have taken more pictures of that low point. I have 3 and it drives me crazy. I fought Kim so hard on even taking those 3 pictures. And I could kick myself, literally. So I'm really big on making people take measurements, before and afters, selfie, 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 selfie. Fuck that scale. The scale doesn't tell you anything. The girl looking back at you in the mirror tells you everything. And I can see it. I can see it in the post day today. When I went on the boat this weekend, yeah, I looked damn good in a bathing suit this weekend. But you know what I looked like on Monday when I realized I shouldn't have eaten that crap or drank every grapefruit squeeze somebody put in my hand? And then you reevaluate and you start again. That's it. They're too busy and they can't think about it right now. I'm going to tell you what. There's nobody busier than I am. I don't have kids, so there probably are. So let me reevaluate that statement. I have a full-time job. I have to take call once a week, meaning one night every single week, I have the phone attached to me and I can be called in at 1 a.m. because somebody's bleeding and I need to go save their life. Every 5th weekend, I'm on call. I have to go to the hospital every time somebody does some dumb shit and ends up in a motor vehicle accident. If you want it, you will make time. That's it. It's as simple as that. They're overwhelmed by life. I think we kind of already touched on that. Life gets overwhelming. What do you want? Do you want to wallow in your pity party? Or do you want to get to a state of your life where you're like, damn, I can't even believe I got that shit done when all that crazy shit happened to me. That's where I'm going. I don't know about you, but figure it out. They have real or perceived money problems. When I first started this, and I explained to my husband that I was going to get this shake in the mail every month, and it was going to cost me $130, he looked at me like, okay, let's see how long this lasts. Where there's a will, there's a way. And not only do I get shakes, he gets shakes, mom gets shakes, dad gets shakes, we all get shakes. It's a freaking shake party here. And you know what happens? If I don't drink it all, I expose somebody to it. I'll be like, oh my God, I have this amazing shake and I'm sitting on it and it's like $90 and then I got my friend hooked and their friend hooked. Just be innovative, figure it out. So this is how I approach people. And I never really heard it put like this. I don't know if this was Bonnie Engel or who it was, but none of it really matters. But I realized I was doing this and I didn't even realize I was doing this. When people send me back a message, they're like, oh my God, I'm so unhealthy. I'm actually at the point where I'm scared. I'm on the verge of diabetes and I hear like the craziest stuff. And I say to them, I know how you feel. I was there. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was at the lowest point of my life. I felt the same way as you. But what I found was Beachbody. It's that easy. And then you go on to whatever it is that you did and whatever process changed your life. It's just like that. Literally, you need to relate to these people. So we're going to start going through the objections. Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you after this. Okay, babe? Okay. We're going to deal with like the flat out no. And this is the hard one. When people are just like, no. Not like, no, I don't have money for that. Or no, I don't think my husband, there's always like some kind of story afterwards that you gotta rectify that reason why they can't. Sometimes it's just no. And just give them your best and say, I'm here. Thanks for the follow on Facebook. If you ever want to reach out to me again, I would love to add you to my challenge group. Just be very graceful about it. Take the high road. Nick, you know what? I'll do this since it's the end of that. And these are just some responses. I posted a lot of them, and some of them are mine, some of them are Bonnie Engel's, some of them are Melanie Mitro's. I kind of took all the top coaches and, you know, built it into this format for you, where you can literally go in and copy and paste it. Like this, you don't, you know, you can change a few words and make it your own. I always promote you making it authentic, but I mean, the message is the message. We'll just go over the first one. It's absolutely okay. This might not be the right fit for you. This may not be the right time for you. No matter what, I wish you the best on your journey, and I hope you follow mine. I really appreciate you following me on Facebook. That's it. End it. Move on. Go ahead, Nick. This is straight out of the Go for No book. If you guys haven't read it, read it. Download it. It's really good on Audible, and I'm not a huge Audible fan. Sometimes it's really boring, but this is like their main message.
I live for Audible.
Sometimes I do. You're a Badass kind of ruined Audible for me. I was like, no, she should be screaming fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
It's true. All right. I mean, you're gonna put this slideshow in the files, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So the objection, I don't have time. So lots of people get this objection. You know, lots of people, like Tanya saying, out of a fear of failure, or they're just afraid that they aren't going to be able to keep up with it. You know, so many people have done things before that they started and never finished. So I think one of the best ways to compete with this objection is that our programs are, most of them are 25 to 30 minutes a day. Like, when people are thinking, I don't have time, they're thinking a 10, 15-minute ride to the gym, and then an hour on the elliptical, and then half an hour on weights, and then, you know, another 10, 15-minute ride home, and that's taken an hour and a half, 2 hours of their day. So when you can show people that they can get quick and effective workouts in 30 minutes, I think that that's a great way to combat this one. But so we know the challenge groups programs are the easiest way to stick with it, so that helps them also. Just, you know, that extra motivation to ensure that they'll know that they can stick with it. I don't remember if we have, well, I'm gonna say it even though I'm not sure if it's on the next slide. Objection, I don't have time for coaching. If you've got somebody who's an awesome challenger and you think they'd be a great coach and they say, oh, I don't have time for that. I just kind of relate it back to my story. When I first started, I was working, you know, 3 days a week as a dental hygienist, and I have 2 kids, and I was working in the real estate business. So I had a lot on my plate too. So I would say something like, oh, I totally get that. When I started, I was working as a dental hygienist, and I would answer messages on my lunch break or in between patients if I had somebody cancel, and after the kids went to bed. Even when I quit dental hygiene and I was working with our real estate business, I still had to fit it in, so I would schedule an hour into my day. You know, let them know that it's not an 8-hour-a-day business. You know, they can make it in an hour if they schedule their time right and they use that time effectively. So we just have some sample responses here that you guys can read when you come back through the files. But it's a good one. I had to find a way to give my own health a little bit of priority in my life so I can make changes that improve my life. I found that doing it this way saved me so much time because I could do my workouts at home in just 30-minute ones. So there you go. Budget objection to Shakeology. I'm sure everybody has heard this at one point or another. Like he says, 98% of the time when someone tells you they don't have the money, what are they really saying? They're really saying, I don't see the value, which is true. You need to bring them back to, you know, what they're actually getting. Most Americans will go to Target and for a scarf and accidentally spend $200 on junk they don't need. So it's totally true. Most people can find the money. The problem is they don't feel like it's worth it for them. So this is their opportunity to show them. How many people do you have tell you, oh, I can't afford Shakeology, it's too expensive, and then the next day you see they bought some frivolous thing for like $150 on Facebook, and you're like, really? Yesterday you told me that you couldn't afford Shakeology. So you really do need them to see the value in it. And I think even more than just seeing the value in the shake or the program, you need them to see that they need to value themselves a little bit more and take care of themselves. So sample response, I totally understand you feeling that way. I felt the exact same way when I first heard the price of Shakeology. I remember even saying to myself that there was no way I would spend that much on protein shake. But once I did my research and realized it wasn't a protein shake, but rather a superfood shake that I would be replacing an actual meal with, I found that I was actually spending more money on junk food, let alone something that was healthy for me I'd be replacing Shakeology with. Honestly, I couldn't afford not to drink it if I wanted to stay healthy and reach my goals, which I'm sure all of us feel that way. So that's a great response.
There's just like 3 of them, Nick. Like there were
yeah,
so
I'm not going to read them all because it's going to be in the files and you can go back over it. But there's some other great ones here too. Okay, so what I do is take that out of my monthly grocery budget to balance that out. And I stopped my coffee habit for the month when I was doing it. That not only balanced out my budget, but it was also good for me in general. And the workouts are yours forever, so even when this month is over, you can keep doing more rounds of them, save with the nutrition plan. I live by it now, so it's been invaluable teaching to me to eat a healthy, more balanced way. And then my challenge group is actually free if you have the pack and supply, so you get that in connection with opportunities to make new friends and get that daily support for free. I love that one. I think that's great. Okay, when they immediately ask for the price, I think we've gone over this 8 million times. I never tell them the price. I hardly ever tell them the price until they've agreed that they're going to do it. But here, this is what I would say. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your goals so I can help you pick out the best program for you. Sometimes I'll say something along the lines of, you know, it depends on which program we do. Why don't we figure this out before, you know, so I can get you in the right program. See what, you know, this is all in the scripting that we've done a lot. What kind of activities do you enjoy doing? What kind of workouts do you like? How much time do you have? All that stuff. Oh, I need to think of
out here. I'll go over. You want me to
go
go
ahead.
over?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the value objection. This is basically where they give you a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I don't think it's in my budget. I haven't asked my husband. I don't know if I really am going to follow through with this. This may be bad timing. So when you get like the whole slew of it, it's not just like one thing that you can that you can address immediately. You haven't sold them. Your whatever it is your approach was still makes them think, I don't know if I can trust this. I don't know if I can trust her. I don't know if I can trust this product. I don't know if I can bring myself to spend any more money on something else that isn't going to work for me. When this happens, you need to be like a Beachbody cheerleader. You need to start sharing before and after pics. You need to start sharing testimonials. I have like a whole testimonial thing that I ask my challengers to give me. I don't know if you guys do this. Like when they finish a challenge group, I say, hey, can you just write me a little testimonial? Because next time I sign somebody, I really would like to share this with them when they tell me that they don't think this is the right fit for them. You really have to think in your head, like think back to that day when Kim sent you a link and you were thinking to yourself, my fucking husband's going to kill me if I spend $140 on this. You haven't finished anything you've ever started in your whole life, Tanya. Like literally, you've been paying $40 a month for a gym membership and you haven't walked in there since 2014. This is the kind of stuff that goes through people's heads. I mean, it went through my head. I really try to put myself in their shoes. I really try to listen to what they're saying to me. And you really need to play it both sides. You need to take it back to when you first started and when you were the person on the other end thinking, should I do this? Oh my God, what am I going to do now? Like these shakes are going to come every month and he's going to see that nothing's happened and he's going to say, I told you you weren't going to do it. You need to really, really start to put yourself in the other person's shoes and make them, you need to gain credibility and their trust. Go ahead, Nick. And this is kind of just more on value. This is like a big thing that I do. And I think it's really been something that brought me a lot of success. The value that you provide to your challengers. And I know I find it really hard sometimes to balance the people I already have with the people I need to obtain in the same amount of time. So I got in my head, I got to hit Success Club 10. I got to hit Success Club 10. I gotta do this. I gotta do all these things. But then I don't ever start neglecting the people in your groups. You really need to be like the person that's getting them to their goals, because I'll tell you what, part of the reason why I've been so successful is because I've gotten a ton of referrals. I have all these people that work in a hospital. And when people's scrubs look huge on them all of a sudden, they're like, what are you doing? And they're like, I have a Beachbody coach. And Tanya, you know Joe's wife? Joe's wife? No, I don't know Joe's wife. We'll friend her on Facebook. And I've literally made sure I get results out of my challengers. The value in that is so important. You have no, so imagine if I had all these little wheels, all these little parts going, and they all failed. Like, it doesn't matter all these people I'm signing up when all the pieces I have in play aren't getting results. Why would anybody else buy into that? And then all these little parts in play, when they're getting results, they're exposing themselves to people that are beyond my reach on Facebook. They're all of a sudden I'll get messages like, hey, you don't know me, but I know Tessa, and she lost 20 pounds and I don't know what she's doing, but here's my credit card. I legit get messages like that. That's what you have to focus on. You have to get results out of these people. You have to learn how to appropriately run a challenge group. I had horrible challenge groups. I got so sick of talking to myself. I was like, I don't know if I'm just going to show up at your door and smack you with this bag of Shakeology, or if I'm just going to give up. Like, literally. I was frustrated. I was, of course, the ones that I completely epically failed at, Kim was in. And now I have this one, it's like Amazeballs. And I was like, I don't want her in I'm going to just do this. I'm going to fly out of the nest. I'm going to figure this shit out if it kills me. So you want to show your customers your value. Here are some ways to show them your value. Think about the outcome. What is it they want to achieve? Oh my God, you want to lose 40 pounds? I know 3 people that lost 40 pounds. You need to start getting before and after pictures from those people. I have like a little flipogram I send people and they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. People love like visuals. Forget about like little scripts. They want to see it. And it's funny because a lot of people that are my family, they're like, I thought you were nuts when you started this until you started posting these before and after pictures. And I was like, it's the real deal. Like, this isn't an infomercial. I mean, she's running one on her Facebook page, but it works. Oh my God, it works. Literally. And again, credit cards, just flying. Focus on their outcome. Focus on what they want to achieve. This is a big one I really use a lot. And I think it really is like the selling point at the end. Besides Nick's like coach script, which is like changed my whole business, I focus on the money back guarantee. I literally tell them, like, you can drink that entire bag of Shakeology and ship it to me and I will ship it back to Beachbody. If you don't get something out of the 21 days, I promise you, I will get you all of your money back. Are you guys doing that? Because I wasn't. And then it really changed the game for me. And then another thing I do, and it's something that's really important to me, is provide free resources, meaning a free guide, a PDF. You need a way to separate yourself from the 400,000 coaches that are on Facebook. I've actually been working with somebody to like make a guide. Like, I literally have been creating my own guide. Like, that is just something I'm going to give everybody in my challenge groups. I give them planners. I give them in color. I just try to figure out shit that's like, why would you want to sign with me and not with half the other amazing coaches on this group? Be innovative. Go ahead, Nick. Oh no, I think we have to go back.
Oh, here, sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. The challenge pack. Sometimes people are like, well, I just want the program, or I just want the shake. You really need to emphasize the fact that the challenge pack is the best bang for your buck. Emphasize the fact that you get a month's life Shakeology, a fitness program that you'll have for a lifetime, a meal plan that no matter what, if you fall off the Shakeology or the fitness program, you own that forever. And I really focus on Nick's script and the fact that you get a discount. And if you are looking for an out and you actually follow through with this, there's an amazing earning opportunity if you can get results. showcase it. Showcase what you've done, what you've accomplished, what you plan to accomplish, what's possible. What's possible is the key here. Go ahead, Mama.
Sorry, yeah, that's fine.
I get this all the time. It's funny. I just had somebody last night. She was like, I got to talk to my man. I was like, okay, well, she was like, I just told him last week that he's only got $5 to spend all week. And now I'm going to come to him and tell him that I'm buying this program. It's $140. I was like, girlfriend, good luck with that. Please let me know how that goes. She texted me and she said, well, he just let me buy it. She said, I had a sneaky account anyway, so I was going to do it no matter what he said. So don't take that as like, they're just giving you an excuse. Sometimes like legit, they are not the person that's making the financial decisions. So just tell them I can relate. I get it. Set an exact time to follow up and send them the goddamn link anyway. Nick, you're up.
Okay. So objection is when they want the program but not the shake. I know I had a few of my coaches say that they get this a lot. And I kind of do the same exact thing. I will say it's part of the program. I will say that it's part of the meal plan. And I don't say I cannot guarantee results without it. I think guarantee is a strong word sometimes, but I will tell them that all of my clients that get the program with the shake are the ones that see results. They're the ones that usually stick with it and are able to keep going. So Tanya says, at first I was skeptical too and tried a cheaper shake and got nowhere my first round. Then my coach informed me of the money back guarantee and told me I could drink the whole damn bag and return it empty after 30 days. And of course that never happened. I always also say about the money back guarantee. And I will say, mine are usually texting or typing. So I'll say, everybody always, if you want to return it, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I will always put in parentheses, not that I've ever had anybody use it, because that's the truth. I don't think I've ever had somebody get the product and use it and then say, this doesn't work and return it. I don't think I've had one person do that. Objection, I already have a gym membership. I actually came across a lot of people who say the same thing. In fact, some of my top coaches are gym rats. There's nothing wrong with that. What they found, though, was that they were going to the gym and oftentimes doing the same things each time. And the result had plateaued. Without wanting to pay the higher price for a personal trainer, they decided to get a Beachbody program for diversification and to have on hand when they didn't have time to make it to the gym. I've had people who love going to the gym and tell me, I just want the shake. I don't want a program. I'm never going to use it. I love going to the gym. I go to my gym classes. I go and I love lifting weights, blah, blah, blah. And I have had a couple of them where I'm like, listen, do the program out the way it's written for 21 days and give it a shot. And if you don't like it, go back to the gym. And those people have quit their gyms and they work out at home now because they realize that they're getting better results and they're getting more effective workouts in the 30 minutes than they are spending an hour and a half at the gym. I was at the gym too. I used to do the elliptical every time and then I would go do the same 3 machines every time, do some abs, and I would go home. But I was working the same muscles every day. Like, that's just not effective. That was good. So responses after you send the link and they're not answering, right?
Yeah.
So give it 1 to 3 days. Definitely, life gets in the way, and not everybody's on Facebook every second like some of us coaches are. So give it some time to work. After you've given them a couple days, just shoot them a quick message like, hey girl, totally not trying to bug you, but I'm finalizing my June group and I was taking you a spot. Are you still wanting to join us? That's a great follow-up message. At this point, say yes, move forward with walking them through the purchase. If they say not right now, you can set up a time to follow up in a few weeks. If you have a follow-up list, which you should, just write on there what they said to you and when, and write out your date of the next message you're going to send them to follow back up with them. Want to do this one, Tanya?
Yeah, sure. When people say, AKA insert crickets, meaning like you sent a message and you never heard anything back. Who cares? Just start liking their stuff on Facebook. Be genuine, keep going. The worst thing you can do is make it awkward and like completely cut them off. That would be weird, right? That would be like, I completely solicited you and I thought, you know, you have a couple pounds to lose, sister, and I thought maybe I'd reach out to you and you'd be interested in this. We do profile people. It's a bad habit, but we all do it. I mean, let's be honest. Just, you know, reach out to them again and say, hey, like, I didn't want to leave you out. I was thinking about you. And then just make sure, like, you're posting consistently so they can see, like, you mean what you say. And I really like this part. Always consider them watch and waits. I was such a watch and wait. I was like, I'm just going to keep watching. I mean, is this girl like just like doing this for 6 months? Is she doing it forever? And you'll get a lot of surprises of people that will be like, okay, I'm in. I've been watching you forever. And it's just, sometimes the timing's not right. So remember that you're always a walking billboard. You are a Beachbody coach. You need to make sure that everybody knows that and that you're doing the right thing, and just believe in abundance. There's every day I wake up and I'm like, I don't know who's going to sign the challenge pack, but I'm going to figure it out. This is Nick's thing. Nick is like the expert on selling the coaching opportunity. This is still a huge work in progress for me. So Nick, take it away.
So a lot of people get the objection, I'm not at my goal weight. Actually, that's way better. Coaching is about showing people that you are a normal, everyday person who's on a journey to become a better version of the girl she was yesterday. No one relates to perfect, they relate to the struggle, so post about it. Totally true. If I was talking to somebody, I would absolutely say, you know, people will relate with a normal person going through everyday struggles, or they like to join you while you're still on your journey, and nobody wants to join a fitness expert because they get intimidated by that. So not being at your goal weight, I actually think is a huge advantage in this business. The objection is, I'm not a sales person. Perfect, neither am I. We actually train you on how not to be salesy. We are a company based on peer-to-peer experience. We use a product, share our experiences and knowledge of that product in hopes to inspire others to do the same. I will always say to people, you know, if you see other MLMs on Facebook where they just add you to groups, or you see them doing lots of salesy posts on products like, here, buy this, it's on sale. Like, I will actually tell you not to do that. So I think we're the least salesy, at least our group anyway. Obviously, there are some coaches that are very salesy, but in general, I think we are not. And we aim to not be salesy. So I think that's a big selling point.
If I had like $5 for every LuLaRoe group I was in, I could totally quit my job. It's ridiculous.
I don't have a big market and I'm from a small town. I'm going to give you mine on this one because besides Vicky and Julie, nobody's come from a smaller town than I have, I guarantee you. I graduated with 19 kids in my class, and I lived on an island you had to take a ferry to. So if you can beat that, like, I just don't think you can. So that really to me is such an invalid objection, because anybody can do this. You know, we're all using Facebook to do this with. So if you have Wi-Fi, you're good and you can do this job. I started this career with 100 Facebook friends, maybe 98. I was not huge on Facebook. I did not have a big presence on Facebook. I was hardly posting, and when I did, it was like pictures of my kids. So I totally know that you can be someone who does not have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I have all you virtual friends, but I really don't have a lot of real people friends. And I didn't have a lot of Facebook friends. So you totally can build your business, and we will show you through our trainings how to build more of a social media presence. I'm not in social media. This goes back to what I was just saying. Okay, well, neither was I until I learned that I could build a 6-figure income from my couch on my cell phone. Stop using Facebook for gossip and stalking and start using it as a method of income. I would add, when I first started with Facebook, I really did it just to be on there and you know, check stuff out, but you can use it as you would if you were opening a store and you needed to rent a space. Like, if you wanted to open a clothing store, you would have to go rent a space, a storefront. Facebook is your storefront and it's free. So it's silly for $15.99 a month to not use that storefront and use it to your advantage. You have so many people that you have access to. It's for free and it's just crazy to not use it. What will my friends and family think? I'm a big proponent of who the fuck cares. That's really where I'm at. But I will admit, when I first started, I was like, oh, I'm probably going to annoy people. And I probably felt that way for like 2 days. And then I was like, oh, sorry, I don't really care if I annoy people. But so she says, actually, this was legit my biggest fear. But then I realized opinions don't pay my bills. That's funny. I wrote that too. And the opportunity makes me better, not the unkind words of spectators. So get over it. Are they really your friends if they're judging you instead of supporting you? Let me see, when did I write? Oh, so I had, we all think this way. Every new coach thinks this at first, but when you start to post and you get people telling you that you are inspiring them or that they love your posts, you start to realize that those few people who will be annoyed really are not worth hanging out with anyway. When I started getting messages from people telling me that I was inspiring them and telling me how much they loved my posts on Facebook, and they were people who I really never spoke to and never even liked or commented on my posts and stuff, that's when I knew that there was a difference. And those 3 or 4 people who unfriended me, who cares? And I don't even remember who they are.
These are just some links. It's probably Bonnie Engels, Melanie Mitros. There's Carl Dakler on the pyramid scheme. I was going to get into that, but we would have been here till 10:30. I mean, that's like a whole nother.
I will tell you guys, if you are not going on YouTube every time you have a question about this business, you're doing yourself a disservice. When I first started as a coach, I would be on YouTube for like hours after my kids went to bed. Like, how do you make money as a Beachbody coach? What is team cycle bonus? Like, what is team volume? What is the strong leg? Like, anything I had a question about, I would watch video after video until I understood the concepts, because some things can be tricky, especially when it gets to volume and all that stuff. But objections are another one. Like, you can type in any question, and just type Beachbody after it, and something's going to come up.
This was just a great quote from Go For No, and literally, if I can mail you guys a copy, I would, because it was that like impactful into my business. So I looked at my life and realized I spent most of it doing everything I could to avoid failing, and that kept me from breaking through to the next level. Today, I've not only learned to accept failure and rejection as a natural byproduct of the pursuit of excellence, but I've also experienced the amazing transformation that happens when you learn to embrace failure as a tool for achieving your dreams. Get over yourself. Get over the word no. Get over the fact that not everybody is going to get on the gravy train. It is what it is. And, you know, the mere fact that Nick and I are like sitting on this conference call, hosting it, like, Nick, what was it, like 3 days ago? You were like, hey, objections. And I was like, oh, okay. Let me do some research on that. Like, if you put your mind to it, you're capable of amazing things. I was scared to death a couple of hours ago of even doing this. I was like overthinking it. And you guys, we get in our own heads. Just get out of your own way. Just post it. Don't think about it. Just hit post. That's all I got.
I'm going to unmute everybody. Does anybody have questions or an objection we didn't cover that you're curious for an answer?
I love this call.
Who was that?
Who's that? Karen?
Hey, Julie.
Oh, it's Julie.
I love this call. I love you guys. You did a great job. You hit all
Are you kidding me? This is coming from the Jedi herself. The queen. Are you the one who I aspire to be when I grow up?
Stop. No, it was awesome. Great call.
Good. Anyone else? Anyone have any objections that they got that we didn't cover?
Nick, whatever wasn't there, just add it into there, or shoot me like your stuff, and I'll make sure that this gets downloaded to the Fitzfire Empire, and that way you guys can disperse it. I thought it was a great topic, Nick. I had no idea there was so much information out there, and kudos to you for coming up with a great call.
All right, guys, we will see you on the interwebs.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.